Now, a BBC drama about those who died from influenza during the Great Wars on TV tonight. Spanish Flu, The Forgotten Fallen, looks at one doctor's pioneering efforts to protect the people of Manchester from the 1918 Spanish influenza pandemic. With me now is Martin Purdy. He's editor of the Oldham Advertiser, but he's also a First World War historian. Welcome to Channel M today.
Hello, thank you.
So who was this doctor and what did he do, Martin?
Well, his name was Dr. James Niven, and he was the head of public health in Manchester at that time. And the drama is actually based on the diaries and the notes that he left in trying to deal with one of the biggest tragedies, if not the biggest tragedy of the last century. Really.
OK, well, we'll talk about the drama in a second, but it seems an appropriate moment to have a little look at a clip from it.
Hemorrhaging in these lungs is the worst we've ever seen. It's brutal. It's like they've been attacked.
Well, illness is a battle, isn't it? It's a war.
Has this last war been so destructive?
Because it was a war of attrition.
That's right. Because we have more horrible weapons, because each side was equally matched and couldn't overrun the other one without tearing itself to pieces.
For the past 4 years, we've been pounding the same patch of ground into oblivion.
Maybe the flu is like that.
It's a fine cast, isn't it, in this
It is.
piece?
It's very, very well acted indeed.
And how much of it is factual and how much of it has been interpreted for drama, shall we say?
Well, it's always a very fine line, isn't it, with docudramas. I think on balance, it's good. You know, I think they've intercut a lot of stuff from the North West Film Archive. From the period.
So there's genuine footage
There
in
is
it?
genuine footage of the era in it, and it doesn't always blend together too well, but the cast is so strong that it does carry it through. But as you've probably gathered from that, it's not a cheery watch.
It's never going to be, though, is it?
No,
I mean, a pandemic that killed more people than were lost in the war, is that right?
That's correct. There were 15 million soldiers from all sides killed in the Great War. The figures, there is no exact figure for the flu pandemic, but at minimum it's 20 million, at maximum it's 70 million. And where
well, even if you took halfway between that, that's still 60 million people.
It was absolutely catastrophic.
So why, in 1918, did it spread so cataclysmically quickly?
Because what you're looking at is as we have come to know it, it is the First World War, and you've got movement of troops, of people around the globe, and they are spreading the virus all around the globe. And that's why we're getting this horrific result where it really is a worldwide pandemic. And
no cure for it, obviously, at the time. No virus, not the kind of medicine that we enjoy today.
I mean, the First World War gave us lots of things. It gave us X-rays, it gave us blood transfusions. Ultimately, it gave us penicillin and the like, but there was nothing to cope at this stage with something of this level.
And you've written a book which touches on this subject, don't we? Does your hero have Spanish flu?
Well, this is actually it's a factual book. It's the story of the war told through the experience of one town, which is Middleton in North Manchester. And I think perhaps just very briefly, the book does say that there's a guy, a typical example of it, a chap who's 35 years old. He's risen to become a major in the army. He's lived through 4 years of warfare. He's been gassed. He's been wounded. 6 days after the end of the war, he dies of flu. That's the tragedy of this flu.
So to have got through all of that,
to have got through
to then be struck down by a little bug that he can't see,
the Somme, Passchendaele, and it's actually a flu that kills him.
So what makes a man who is a journalist and a newspaper editor so fascinated with the First World War? Just about you for a second.
I started as it was an interest in researching a relative of mine, my great-grandfather.
I see how it went, yeah.
And it went from there.
So you've just got fascinated with the era and the time.
Yes, yeah, totally.
So the drama is recommended, is it?
It's a good drama. As you would expect, it's not a cheery one, but it's very well acted indeed.
Martin, nice to have met you, and thanks for your thoughts on that.